Wrapping cutback, she's losing some open face. And Sally able to get one final wave before the horn. She'll ride this all the way to the beach. Was it just a little too late, Rosie?
Yeah, it's really hard to watch Sal on this wave because you see those first opening maneuvers. I mean, she's going to bring this one all the way to Vel's Reef, but you see those opening maneuvers from her and you see those moments where you're like, if you could just piece that together on a wave like India had, you know, it would have had that scoring potential for her. She saw a couple like big falls from Sally, getting that whiplash feeling. She just had one of those heats. I think Steph said it so well earlier. She said, I just had a shocker. And that's what's happened to Sally here. She's had a shocker in this heat, and it's really hard to pick up those pieces. Like you said, she needs almost a 9. And that turn right there, one of the best of the heat. And then again, second option, she has to lay that rail and go for the cutback, and then just runs out of space on this wave, Joe.
Well, we've already seen the scores of India Robinson in the 7 range, and she was just so much more powerful with 2 tight combinations of turns. Just the wave didn't have enough at the end for Sally. Scores coming in, and it is not enough. A 5.83. Fitzgibbons knocked out here in the round of 16, and a rookie named India Robinson moves on to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals start right after this. Joanne DeFay. There's the front side whip off the top. DeFay looks at an aggressive approach to finish on her feet.
Malia Manuel, huge drop on the outside.
It's such an honor to be back at Palmalu, and you know the translation is taken by surprise, and I think every time I paddle out there that happens to me.
Not really playing around out there.
And more big waves to start heat number 3.
It's probably about time we check out the bracket for the final series for the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach presented by Shiseido. Look at all those rookies. Lulu has Gabriella Bryant. That's an all-rookie clash. Molly Picklem features for a rookie in quarterfinal number 3 against Theresa Hennessey, and another rookie from Australia, India Robinson, will get the winner of the last heat of the round of 16. Will it be an all-rookie clash with Betty Lou, who has Lakey comboed at the moment, or will it be Lakey Peterson, who's chasing yellow, knowing that she at least has to get to the semifinals to potentially be in yellow heading into Portugal? Action continues. Betty Lou, Sakura Johnson. Great whip there to start. Champ of the Hall Eager Challenger Series. Loves to win heats. Very competitive. Super kind human being when you talk to her on land. She has so much excitement for her future. And we got to see her kind of taste the CT format as a wild card call-up a couple of times before her debut. She learned a lot in those appearances.
She did. I mean, saw her as early as Maui last season in that event. And then, yeah, we've always known that this lady was coming. She's got big goals for herself this season.
Joanne DeFay versus Malia Manuel. What a fun one. Talk about the strengths for Joanne in this heat.
Cracker of a heat. I mean, just looking at what Joanne's got done. Open face maneuvers. She's not scared. She's got good boards under her feet. Lethal combination.
Also focusing on Malia Manuel, the contrast in her style compared to DeFay.
Yeah, I think for Malia, there's just this lightness and this happiness that's bubbling up from her. She's that veteran on tour, but she just has this finesse with the way that she surfs that I really appreciate.
Rolling in, wide open face, and one who loves to get started early is Malia Manuel, framing that top turn wrap incredibly well. She was so effective getting started early in the previous round, and trying to sneak into that cave was Joanne Defay.
Yeah, that has been a very effective game plan for Malia to start early like that and get that ball rolling.
As we look at 14:25, so rare now to have our world champs into the quarterfinals. It's been a few years. Thinking about a CT that didn't have Moore, Gilmore, and Wright in the quarters. Go back to Kashkaish in 2015. Well, Gilmore was injured, so that's why she wasn't there. Moore was knocked out in round 4, and so was Tyler Wright. But incredibly rare scenario that we have at this event.
That is a crazy stat. Things are getting shaken up as we see Malia just tearing through that face of the wave. So well rewarded for one-turn options. Here she starts to get caught up on that second turn. Turns her attention to the outside. Joanne was on that back wave and didn't get anything done. Just a quick in and out for her.
Betty Lou 6.77. Her last of 4.67. So this has to feel interesting, Rosie, when your opponent now has 3 bigger scores than you. Their throwaway is something you might want to have just so you felt a warm up in your heat. How does Lakey kind of move forward with this with time winding down?
Yeah, I mean, Lakey's just starting from scratch. Looking at that scoreline, she just hasn't been able to link a wave together. And I think that's got to be in the back of her mind. I think just keeping that fresh feeling and not letting it weigh down on her, staying light, staying approachable when a wave comes.
Good news for Lakey, she still has priority, and the combination that she needs isn't gigantic.
And there's time.
All kinds of time. Well, we've seen a lot of quick turnarounds in the last couple of days through the men's division as well. Someone just out of place maybe in the first half. We've had a lot of great comebacks.
Definitely, and Lakey can work this wave, you know, inside out. If she gets a good little wave, wraps it up and turns around and finds herself in a position to catch a west peak, you know, all kinds of scenarios can come into play. So I'm not counting Lakey out just yet.
Lakey kicked things off with an equal third at Pipeline. Had the helmet on, looked like a warrior out there, and she really enjoyed that challenge. Threaded some great barrels at backdoor Pipeline.
Yeah, I've got a healthy amount of respect for the women that charged on all of those days. You know, they really are setting the precedent. This has never been done, seeing the women compete at Pipeline. So lots of respect.
So the non-priority heat just getting started. Malia 4.83. Last of Joanne Defay a 0.57. Not much of a score, but she had to kick out through a crazy closeout section. Speaking of big section, she took a big drop earlier today, and that'll feature as her Flying Embers drop of the day.
Here we go, having a look at this one on the inside.
Looks like we'll get the round of 16 started. Wearing the red jersey from Reunion Island, Joanne Defay. Just an under the lip move there just to project down the line, waiting for her first major turn. There's the front side whip off the top. Defay looks at an aggressive approach to finish on her feet. What an attempt and a completion from Joanne Defay, not holding back whatsoever, Laura. Joanne Defay was totally committed on that end section, and it was interesting. I started realizing how effective she is on her opening rides. She usually has those as keepers. This one's starting off a little different now. Malia Manuel with that slingshot wrap. Board looks really responsive. Even just a short ride there, you can see how well connected she is to that surfboard.
I know, and you know, she's thinking, I've got a pretty good score on the way for myself. Just backing it up, applying that pressure and playing the game right now with Joanne.
Malia Manuel won the U.S. Open of surfing at 14 years of age. It's a long time ago now, one of the youngest to win it. As we look at an aggressive snap from Lakey Peterson. Very patient in this heat. Clean carve to combo it up, and she will kick out. So maybe it didn't have the gigantic wave height, but I love how she's adapting her game plan to get back in this heat with the rookie.
What a way to answer back. And you asked me about, you know, how she's going to keep her composure. Good to see her form on that wave, and very contrasting style to Betty Lou. You know, Betty's been drawing those kind of long lines with the equipment that she's on. Lakey, quick snap in the lip, very high performance orientated, just slams it off there, able to transition in for this next maneuver. So cool to see Lakey on the board now.
Such an aggressive surfer with every move. She always looks like she's giving it everything she's got. First section, she hit well. What about the second maneuver?
Yeah, just loving this option. It kind of flattens out for her, so she goes to that roundhouse.
When we saw her at Snapper, gosh, a few years back, we had realized how much she had put into that wrapping turn, where she was just about maxing out the scale, getting 9+ rides. She ended up on the podium that year. Then we realized that something had changed. Big paddle effort there for Joanne Defay.
I think that priority is going to shift, Joey. We'll see. We'll see where Malia is on the lineup, but she definitely showed intent.
And there's the switch. Hands it right back to Malia. As I was mentioning before, Joanne usually relies on a quick start, owning the lineup, aggressively getting a big keeper to start, and then making her game plan for the rest of the heat. This one, Malia's kind of flipping the script on her. She's getting the more activity in. There we see a priority mistake by Defay. So she'll have to completely reset and come back in the seat.
Yeah, one word to describe Joanne is she's unflappable, Joey. I just find that she's so able to keep her wits about her. I mean, she'd probably be a little bit frustrated that her plan isn't playing out the way she wanted, but she's definitely one of those women that keeps it super cool and relaxed.
Focuses on her training. She's got a big new sticker on her surfboard. And how does that feel as an athlete when you just continue to get backing? When you qualified, maybe it wasn't there, and it's just every year she's got another shiny sticker on her board, and you know, for good reason, for how well she's been doing on tour.
Definitely, and chatting to her mom, Josie, she was just saying, you know, it's been a long time that she hasn't had that support, and with that support, there's a house here on the North Shore for her that she's getting, you know, the people on the team behind her, and that support and that backing feels really good, and she feels like part of that family.
Last heat was won by another rookie. India Robinson is with the Waz.
Thank you very much. Amazing heat. The surfboard just looks stuck to your feet and doing amazing things out there for you. Can you tell me a little bit about the process of getting the board?
Yeah, I mean, I just emailed John as soon as I knew that I qualified, and I was like, hey, you need to make me like the best quiver you can for Sunset, and he has. This board's magic. I haven't been able to ride it because I put it on ice, so now that it's like quarterfinals, I'll just stay on it and keep doing what I've been doing.
And you have a backup that's the exact replica, but you've ridden it and it's not the same?
No, it's still amazing, but no, this one's the magic one.
Out in the water right now, Betty Lou or Lakey Peterson is going to be your opponent. Which one would you rather, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. Both the girls are amazing, so we'll see who wins it, and I'm just ready to go again.
And just one more question. Your assault on the waves is just relentless. You look like you're really comfortable in heavy waves.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown up at Bells Beach my whole life, so big open water waves is kind of my style, and I've got the power to match the power of the wave. It's a really powerful wave. So yeah, I'm just going to keep doing my forehand carves and show the judges what they want to see, I guess.
Well, congratulations. We can't wait to see you.
Thank you.
India Robinson is so cool. How awesome is she? Always throwing in some big power moves, and she's loving her job today. She is as ready for the quarterfinals as she took down a huge name in pro surfing, an Olympian named Sally Fitzgibbons. Back to Malia Manuel here, Rosie.
Malia using her priority on this. Watch as she tries to regain her center of gravity over her board. She's just a little bit off kilter on that wave. So close to making that maneuver. You know, she said that this wave, the meaning of it surprises you. And that's what happened right there for Malia. She thought she had it until she didn't.
So counting a couple of four rangers at the moment for Malia Manuel. Arrived on page 1 of Transworld Surf, getting a cover shot back in the day, shot by Jason Kenworthy. And that put her name on the map. It's funny, there's these old interviews with Malia when she was just a kid going, yeah, maybe be on tour for a few years and get a job in the industry. It was like she just had this grom look at how cool the surf industry was. I think everyone's like, I think you're going to be on tour for a really long time. But it was just such an honest look at, you know, where she was at just a young 14-year-old who won the U.S. Open.
I remember that event. I was there, and I actually got pretty emotional just watching that all go down as she's getting cheered up the beach, this young teenager. Yeah, just cool that we've all been able to share in what she's done in her career and really watch her evolve and become who she is.
I guess the story is now for Malia that it's kind of been, you know, riding on her shoulders is winning an event. And gosh, she's been in so many finals, from Australia finals, more recently Bells Beach there, Northern Beaches back in the day, multiple finals at Honolulu Bay, more recently the stressful final for requalification in Mexico. And you almost don't want to bring it up sometimes. It's like with Kolohe on the men's side. You're like, it's going to happen. It's got to happen this year. She's put in too much hard work.
Definitely, and she was surfing for a spot on tour in that final against Steph last year in Mexico. Just looking at the heat total from that final, I mean, she was so close, Joe. I think I was getting on the airplane, so I didn't get to watch it, but then I saw the heat total, and I was just like, wow, that must have just been such an incredible showdown.
As we've got a chip in now, a big windup off the bottom, Lakey Peterson. Great carve to start, needs a 6.28 for the lead. There's the wrap, she'll run out of room. Her score before on that nice two-turn combo, 5.83, and her husband just is working on his breaths during this heat. A very talented surfer who's actually from that Bells Beach region, so they see a lot of India Robinson when they're down at their home.
That's another interesting look for Joanne Defay, but here we go. Lakey on her last. Like you said, Joey, she's searching for that 6.28. Good first maneuver. She did drop in the 5.83 on that last wave. Just winding through that cutback. I just feel like Lakey, she's got to find a better wave with more opportunity to get that number.
And now trying to do the late takeoff and getting up a bit late and kicking out is Betty Lou.
Yeah, interesting. Could that be a priority mistake? Opening the door for Lakey at the end of this heat.
Lakey's a very strong paddler. And if she's still on the inside, Betty Lou might have got away with that. But if Lakey's closer to position, she might be able to close out this heat with priority. 2:22 to go. One more spot in the quarterfinals. Winner of heat number 8 of the round of 16 will be with India Robinson.
Yeah, Betty does regain that priority with Lakey still on her way out. Good call there, Joe.
So Betty Lou kind of got away with that one. Probably made it took a look because she knew she had some space. And now this is a dangerous situation for Lakey. She's already trying to change plans on where she's sitting now.
Yeah, let's have a look. I mean, Betty really letting her have this wave. She doesn't go. Well, you see how it can sometimes just fatten out in that deep water. There's deep spots on this reef where the waves just don't let you in.
Interesting as we see an opportunity now setting up for Lakey. Big wall stretching out quickly on her. Can she catch up to it? Big wind up, hammers it in the pocket. She's going to try to force it here in the flats. Really just one maneuver for Peterson. Remember, she was equal third at pipe. We lost the other equal third, Tyler Wright, earlier today to Malia Manuel. We lost number 2 in the world, Carissa Moore. We lost number 1 in the world, wildcard Luana Jones-Wong, in the elimination round.
We lost all the world champs in this round. So this has been so tricky, winding down a minute. Even Lakey just getting that wave though, I mean, to finish on your feet, I think that's always important. She gave it her all. You can see her heart as she's taking off on this wave. She's really trying to get down the line and start getting to work. Beautiful opening maneuver, a lot of spray. She repositions, try to find a bit more critical section, and you can tell in the body language that it's just not what she wanted.
Tough moment there for Lakey because she drilled the first turn. It's just a 3.67. Doesn't even factor into her top 2. And now she's down to 20 seconds. What a day for the veterans on tour, for world title threats and world champions. There's been a takeover of this young rookie class on this old school wave called Sunset Beach. Betty Lou, Sakura Johnson, 6'7", 5.33. And her family is so proud of that performance as we see Lakey get knocked out in the round of 16. The quarterfinals continue here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, presented by Shiseido. We'll be right back.
Lulana Silva, nice arc off the top, beautiful turn. The young Luana Silva answering right back. Big upset, Gabriella Bryant taking out the 7-time world champ, Stephanie Gilmore. Nice swooping carve there. Back up at the lip, banging that one. Hurley Pro Sunset Beach presented by Shiseido. And it has been an incredible day. Quarterfinals in the water. Priority heat, quarterfinal number 1, Malia Manuel, Joanne DeFay. New heat in the water, quarterfinal number 2. The two rookies faced up against each other. Luana Silva versus Gabriella Bryant. Lulu versus Gabby, and the teenagers are starting to take over here at Sunset Beach. Stop number 2 on the championship tour as we fly above and see what leads to the first exchange in quarterfinal number 2. Quarterfinal number 1, Malia Manuel ahead of Joanne DeFay with a 4.83 and a 4.1. Joanne DeFay, lip glide there and a little slow for JoJo, and that is not going to help her cause as she trails Malia Manuel in quarterfinal number 1. 16 minutes and 50 seconds on the countdown here. New clock in the water, 36 minutes, 45 seconds for the non-priority heat. Again, these overlapping heat format. Day number 1 for the women here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, presented by Shiseido. And the Goofy Foots, we put our right foot forward right here. The Goofy Foots have taken over the studio. Strada Wazalewski and 88 world champ Barton Lynch joining myself, Kaipo Guerrero. Barton, what do you think? I mean, you've seen the changing of the guard before. Is it too soon to say that?
No, this has been a historic event in the men's side. You look at that quarterfinals, and now we're looking at the exact same kind of scenario playing out. Today feels like yesterday, but for the women. Yeah. You know, Carissa Moore, John Florence, Kelly Slater, you know, people just dropping like flies, and it's been exactly the same day here today on the women's side. So we're seeing a historic moment here at Sunset Beach.
I love it. I'm just so excited to see it. I mean, there's the bracket, Kaipo.
Look at the brackets. I mean, Malia Manuel and Joanne DeFay, both 28 years old. But then when we get to Luana Silva, 17, Gabriella Bryant, 19, Molly Picklem, just 19 years old, Theresa Hennessey, a mere 22, India Robinson, 21 years old, and Betty Lou Sakura Johnson, 16.
Oh, incredible.
This is a young crew for these quarterfinals, and hey, there's a story going on here. There's a storyline going on here, Waz.
Yeah, there's a brand new invite to the party, and they're all showed up and they're ready to rock. And Betty Lou, the youngest there, I am so impressed with how fast that she goes into her turns and how she handles the technical side along with the speed and power. It's just amazing to watch that young lady surf.
Rolling in here, Joanne Defay needs a big number at 8.6 if she wants to do it in one wave in her challenge against Malia Manuel. Malia Manuel has really been on point throughout this entire competition day, BL.
Oh, absolutely. Graceful, smooth, and I suppose to match it with the young, aggressive people in this field, you need to get aggressive and start to sort of get out of that comfort zone a little bit. As we see the replay here, was nice snap.
Yeah, I love the way Joanne surfs. Right now she's reaching, though, because she's really got to get involved in this heat because she doesn't have anything on the board that makes her feel like she's actually in this heat. You know, the heat's halfway gone, and she really doesn't have a score to put up there that she wants to keep and to hold on to. And I feel like having a score to hold on to really gives you confidence.
Absolutely, and I suppose the only upside for Joanne is that you look across at Malia and you go, well, she's got a couple of fours. Actually doesn't seem like it matters that much either. So it's almost like a, you know, while there's pressure in those fours and that 4.83, you might keep that at the end if it's an inconsistent back end, mightn't you? But it wouldn't put that much pressure on you.
Joanne Defay continuing to search on the inside here and puts a little too much pressure there and goes down. We'll see if we have any other takers in this set. No other surfers. Let's throw it to the water to Laura Enever. Laura.
Yes, guys. An interesting story happening out here. Reynolds Hayes is actually coaching 3 of the 4 girls in the lineup. Well, coaching with and caddying, working with. We know that he traveled the world on the Challenger Series with both Gabriella and Luana. They are best friends. They train together. They surf together. They, you know, work off each other and push each other. And for them to have this heat together now is pretty amazing. I was trying to get some insight from Reynolds, and he was like, damn, everyone always asks me about that, but I just tell them, game on. They've done the work. They've been surfing here together all week, and now go be tough, go be fierce.
Laura, how big are the sets out there? You're there in the lineup. We know that it's, you know, the screen does tend to make it look smaller. How big are you calling it right now out there, do you think?
There's still
from a surfer point of view, not wave faces.
I still think there's a couple of solid, you know, 6 to 8 foot sets coming through. I just saw a big cleanup set come through in that last hit. It got all the girls. That was the first one that Ross Williams had come through in about 20, 30 minutes. So there's still some bombs coming through, and as we see one of the girls taking off now. Take it away, guys.
Luana Silva streaking through here. Nice arc for the rookie. Double pump off the bottom again and attacks the lip. Gets the board back under her feet for a completion, and she feels good about that one, Wallace.
Yeah, that you got to be feeling some energy and some confidence coming off of a wave like that. You know, it's just so fun to see these young ladies attacking the lip line like that. It's just impressive. Laura out there in the water, she's talking about how big the waves are. We know on the buoys we saw some big, you know, increased increments coming through, so it's going to be a game on. As let's go through this lip line right here.
Drives up into it. The lip kind of splashed her in the face, didn't it? It just splashed the whole body, and she controlled it. We'll see it here on this replay. Waits, drives, and gets that board up vertically, and then the wave kind of flares at the same time as she meets it.
It's so fun to see all the different elements that they have to deal with, but she's feeling it right there. That was a look in and almost like, that's right, you know, swinging the arms.
Yeah.
That was Conor McGregor right there. Yeah, let's do it.
Impeccable timing for the finish from Luana Silva. Gabriella Bryant also got a wave in that exchange, and so both of the surfers choosing to paddle back out, and we got a paddle battle on our hands right now.
So the paddle battle is back out to see who's going to get priority within their heat. So the first one back to what is designated the takeoff zone will get that priority.
I want to point something out right now. We're waiting for the priority, but I'm seeing numbers come through for these two rookies in quarterfinal number 2. And we talked about what's happening here at this event. Luana Silva, she opens up with an 8.83. Gabriella Bryant, not too shabby, BL, with a 7-point ride. How's that for a start?
That's a hell of a start. There's not much room for improvement there for Luana. Up and riding.
Malia Manuel does a good job to keep the board under her foot on that lip line glide, hooked it right under the lip, and she goes complete. So good job by Malia Manuel, looking to better that 4.1 that she has in her score line.
That is so hard to do right there.
Yeah, I think she did.
That is so hard to get your foot back onto the board. I mean, she comes off the bottom, identifies her section, does the big turn, and then kind of unstuck completely off the board, puts it back down. Her toes are in the water right there. That was impressive to get that foot back on the board. Hats off right there. That was incredible work.
That's
Malia
willing
Manuel.
your way through a turn. That was pure will, BL.
Yeah, that was, everything was going against her, and there was most probably a foot of separation at the start. Then the foot comes down on the wrong side, on that rail, and slides the toes off into the water, like you said, Strider.
That's all back foot, holding on for dear life. That's some strength and core just to hold it back up and balance to get the foot back on.
And I suppose it speaks to how much pressure she was putting on her back foot as well, the fact that that front foot was so loose and light.
So the number coming through, and it will improve Malia Manuel's situation in the heat. 6.17 clocks in for the Kauaian, and now Joanne DeFay in the matchup needs an 8.13. Exciting young teenager, 16-year-old Betty Lou Sakura Johnson is in the quarterfinals, and she is with Rosie Hodge.
Betty, such an impressive performance coming up against someone like Lakey, such a solid competitor. How did you beat her?
Well, I think we were both going to get like good waves, and just whoever picked the best wave, I think, was going to put a good score on the board. And yeah, I just hoped for the best and went out there with confidence and picked the right ones.
5 rookies on tour this season, all of you guys into the quarterfinals. Pretty special watching. You give, props to Luana. She paddled out. I think Gabby also said well done to you. So how cool is that to be part of this class that is changing the game on the Women's Championship Tour?
Yeah, it's super rad. I think that all of us were just pushing each other to do better in the water, and it's awesome. I can't believe that we're all in the quarters, and it's just, we're all psyching, really. We're frothing to do good. We're excited to surf, and it's just going to carry that good energy throughout the whole year, I think.
You going to change anything going into the quarterfinals?
Not necessarily. Just going to enjoy it and enjoy every moment and hope to get the good waves.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Good luck in the quarterfinals.
Thank you, Rosie.
All right, so Betty Lou Sakura Johnson did a reclamation project with We Are One Ocean and Shiseido. Got a chance to talk to her. I'm going to get back to that story because up and riding is Joanne DeFay on a very important wave for JoJo. Nice hook off the top there. It forms up in front of her. More opportunity coming around this section into the deep water, so did not get that second turn. Again, she needs 8.13.
I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I think she was looking at that lip line, and she might have had enough time to get to it, but she elected not to.
It was almost like there was a little cloud came over at that point in time. You kind of felt like her shoulders sort of slumped a little bit, and she's just waiting for it to click and things to go right. But sometimes you've just got to make it go right with your attitude. And she said she's not that far out of it. You drop a 6 and all of a sudden all you need is a 5. So, it's right there for her, and there's enough time with 7 minutes on the clock. So no need to get too down on yourself yet. And sometimes those ones that things haven't gone your way at all, and then you just pull it out at the last minute, they're some of the most rewarding victories.
Well, 4.33 for that wave, and that did lessen the requirement for Joanne DeFay, now needing a 6.67, and she's on the Red Bull ski on the way back out.
And I don't think she felt too good about the wave. I'm not sure she kind of cut off that going, that could be a 4 or a 5, and had that energy that's going towards Malia Manuel and sending that attacking energy towards her. I felt like she kind of cut off and going, things just aren't going right. But all of a sudden you're in there.
Yeah, well, at the sunset at this size, and these waves, sometimes they present themselves, but they go very quickly, Strider, into deep water and just disappear. So if you don't get that turn and get off the top, it's just going to dissipate and disappear right from under your feet.
Well, sunset, a very reactive wave. You have to be ready. As soon as a section looks like it's going to present itself, you really have to attack that section immediately. So just, as soon as you see it, go to it, because it's going to disappear before you know it. this morning I was watching out in the water. I just can't believe how much things have changed. And then we see the lines coming in. It's supposed to get bigger again this afternoon. But, you know, this morning I saw Malia Manuel on a giant wave falling out of the sky in the wind. And just, it was one of the most beautiful moments I've seen at sunset. And here's, you know, Malia Manuel coming off the bottom of this thing, controlled, hanging on, and just looking so poised. So, you know, I loved all the different faces of what we've seen and how many times these young ladies are having to surf today out here at Sunset. It's a marathon right now.
Yeah, this is the third heat of the day. If you skip that elimination round, if you surf that elimination round, this would be your fourth heat of the day. So certainly a marathon day for the women here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, presented by Shiseido. Under 5 minutes remaining in the matchup between Malia Manuel and Joanne Defay. View from the channel, and you can see the Red Bull skis in the foreground, keeping an eye on all of our surfers. And when the surfers come in and complete their rides, they can give a wave over to these guys. They'll come and pick them up and deposit them back out at the peak.
Those guys, a big shout out to the Hawaiian Water Patrol on the Red Bull skis, because I've been out there watching them do their work, and they are so focused and do such a great job of getting in there and picking everybody up and getting them back to the channels so that they can get back out into the lineup. You know, it's great to see a lot more surfing in these heats. We'd see otherwise people paddling in that whitewash and trying to get back out into the lineup, maybe wasting half their heat sometimes just to do that on those big days.
All right, so as we see if there another wave's going to break, and I think we're going to take a little bit of a view from the top here and talk a little bit about the lineup here at Sunset Beach if we have no takers, which we do not have. So let's take a look. High above. BL, what do we got going on?
So we're looking at this overview of the lineup. A north swell sort of comes out of this angle here. The west swell is out of around about this, this angle here. So you imagine that as the swell drops, these big west lines that come in on that west peak, as the swell drops, they start to head over towards the point more. And people get confused as to how far over this way to go, whether to double back this way. And the big sets will break over here on this west peak, and then the smaller ones will break over towards the point.
Good pointing out there, BL, at the large playing field that is Sunset Beach, as we see Malia Manuel kick out of that wave, looking to better her 4.83 and distance herself further from Joanne Defay. Strider, just 3 minutes remaining.
You know what? I love the way she's surfing. It's so fun. And the feeling I'm getting from her is something like I saw in Mexico, which was just a go out there and tear into it. That turn right there was pure speed, and she was on the rail. She pushed her fins in at the end. She came out of it with more speed that she went into. That's the kind of surfing the judges are looking for.
So I believe Malia's the only surfer I have remaining on my fantasy surf team right now. So I'm rooting for Malia. And with that, with my picks, I also want to apologize to all the rookies. Because whoever picked the rookies in this event, you are making some points on fantasy surf. You're gaining some ground.
Male and female, both sides of the draw, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Unreal. Look at how beautiful that is. You see those big peaks coming in. Those look like, you know, beautiful west, northwest peaks coming in to meet the reef. It's just incredible how groomed the lineup is at the moment.
And, you know, you called it, Strider. We had a lully period in the middle of the day today where it turned into a chess game out there because waves are few and far between, but it's so refreshing to see this new energy in the water.
But we saw that through the men's event when it was, you know, I mean, there was 25-foot, 30-foot faces out the back, and all of a sudden it just laid down through the middle of the day, and I was kind of scratching my head. But
then by the afternoon, it was terrifying.
It was
again,
like, I was, get me out of here, you know. I was running for the channel, but the channel was gone. I was just taking closeouts on the head.
5-5 for Malia Manuel, so putting more pressure.
Yeah, the new requirement for Joanne Defay, a 7.34, 1 minute remaining, and priority to Joanne Defay. So the opportunity for a buzzer beater as I see some lines presenting themselves, BL.
Definitely, and you know, for non-surfers, we get so excited at the sight of those lines through the ocean, don't we? You know, the corduroy, we call it, because it's like that corduroy in a pant. But corduroy to the horizon is just the most exciting thing for a surfer. And look at this wave.
Looks like a beauty. And Joanne Defay is up and riding. Eases off the bottom, hooks that first turn. That was a big first turn. She's on her way. She needs the wave to cooperate, and it's going to just dissipate. We talked about it just disappearing into the channel, Strider.
And that's exactly what happened, and it was quite unfortunate because if she would have done one more turn on that wave, she was getting the score if she completed it, because she viciously ripped into that lip line and a full redirection. She turned her shoulders and her arms went back. The board swept around. Spray went everywhere. It was in the critical part of the wave. That's exactly what the judges are looking for.
And one more, as you said, and the score was most probably hers.
Well, buzzer has sounded, and the score for Joanne Defay comes up short of 5.73. So we have our first semifinalist in the way of Malia Manuel. We're going to be back with more of the quarterfinals when we return to Sunset Beach. Stick around.
Being in that, I think, embracing state when you're surfing sunset is really important because it's going to kind of hit back at you, and you got to hit it right back.
Up into the lip, comes down with it this time.
I haven't really been to Hawaii all too much, and so I was like, wow, I better actually get out there and figure this bumpy old raw lineup out. And yeah, I'm super excited that I feel confident out there.
We're back at Sunset for the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach presented by Shiseido. Quarterfinal number 3 underway. The rookie Molly Picklem up against Theresa Hennessey representing Costa Rica. Another very young matchup in the theme of kind of a new school of women surfers, professional surfers presenting themselves. 19-year-old Molly Picklem, 22-year-old Theresa Hennessey. I'm Kaipo Guerrero, joined by Strider Wazalewski and 88 world champ Barton Lynch. And the conditions are just looking great, guys.
100%. You know, funny that Picklem Hennessey, they've been roommates at the Rip Curl house up until this event. So they were basically in the same room for about a month and a half, it feels like. And now they're having to surf against each other.
Happens a lot. Guys who travel together, women who travel together, you end up being faced off against each other. BL, you ever had those circumstances?
I've had a few of those, and it's a really quite an awkward situation because you've just got to try and be normal, and deep down inside, especially if you want it, you kind of look over across at the other bed and see them and snarl a little bit, and then they see you and you smile, and it's just it can be quite a difficult, odd situation, that's for sure.
In the priority heat, Luana Silva versus Gabriella Bryant, both surfers opening up with great scores. 8.83 for Luana Silva and a 7-point ride, a flat 7 for Gabby Bryant. Paddle there and the missed opportunity.
Beautiful canvas going by, unpainted and untainted by the surfers. Malia just signing away on the beach there. What a star she is.
Yeah, that's our first semifinalist, Malia Manuel. She will be coming up against either Luana Silva or Gabriella Bryant in semifinal number 1.
I know those kids.
You do?
Yeah,
neighborhood kids.
They play with
neighborhood
Lion,
kids, mate. One of them was Lion's best mate, Kawa there.
How's Gabby Bryant? Big snap, lip glide there aggressive long bottom turn, and look at that finishing turn. Gabby Bryant bringing the noise.
So we talked about it a little bit, and I commented on being reactive to the section at Sunset. That's exactly what she was right there. She saw Lip, bang, she hit it. She didn't wait, she didn't draw out a bottom turn. She did her first turn, then went, oh, there's another one, bang, and then it lined her up for that power gouge. And BL, I cannot wait for you to talk us through that.
I can't wait to see it either.
That was insane.
The bottom turn, when we see on the replay, she made that final bottom turn. She gained so much distance to set up that open face snap. Here we go, Molly Picklem. Nice gouge, down car for Picklem. And Molly just eases through one more turn as the wave hits the deep water and she kicks out.
That was a good choice of words, eases through it, because it kind of felt like she was easing through it, especially after this young lady, Gabriella Bryant, drops down, doesn't wait too long, sees that lip, snaps it. But that was a jab, wasn't it? It was a quick jab and then straight back up. That bottom turn was a thing of beauty. That bottom turn may have been the best turn of the day. That was just so elegant and so beautifully drawn and timed strides. That was great.
Yeah, we're going to see it right here. She comes off the bottom, drives hard, waits for it, and then slams the corner with just when you come into the corner and you feel your board going that fast through the water and you have that momentum. I mean, she does this click right here, which comes down and puts her perfectly into this bottom turn. She's already looking at the section right here. Look at, she knows it's coming. She's deep, she's down on it, rigging the rail, and then this turn right here, look at that, slice through the water. I mean, that was incredible.
That's excellent surfing. And if that is excellent surfing.
Yeah, and if that was an 8-8-3 for Luana, where does this score go?
Yeah, that's into the 9s.
It's got to be into the 9s. It has to be.
Smaller wave,
anyway.
Smaller wave too, though. We're getting excited.
That was beautiful surfing.
Theresa Hennessey gouging off the top there, and is going to have to settle for a nice little cutback. Oh, wave may give her extra. No, it doesn't. So she kicks out 8.27 actually for Gabriella Bryant. Gabby with that 8.27. Maybe it was the wave size that suppressed that number just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like I needed that. It'd be great to see those two in a split screen, for example, and be able to look at them, because it's hard to recall Luana's completely at this point in time. But either way, both of these young ladies they're killing it.
Oh, look at what we got coming here. Look at what is on offer with this building swell and energy increasing, hitting the reef here at Paumalu.
That's 9 feet at 14 seconds. Early in the morning this morning, probably at around 4 in the morning, the buoys were hitting that. So we're seeing that now.
Rolling. And Lulana Silva just fading back. This wave's going to stand up on the inside, and Silva gouges it, has to survive through the convergence of water, does a good job of staying on her feet. Gabby Bryant, big snap, and this time unable to pull it down.
Looked like it was going to close out anyway, so nothing lost there, but what a great heat this is between these two young Hawaiians.
Yeah, just an excellent matchup. Whew. And that, I mean, I'm still blown away by how fired up these young ladies are and the commitment that they're putting on the rail. And to keep a board on the rail through heavy water like this, Strider, is an art of its own. I mean, it's very difficult.
Yeah, well, when you watch, which I love, and we've been watching these young ladies coming up, the rookie class, showing us what they can do, right? Because they get to show the world how good they are and how well they surf and what they can put the rail in the water on a heavy wave and actually display these kind of things. It's just, this is the first time they get to show everybody, and it must feel good.
Let's bring Laura Enever into the conversation.
Wow, the rookies of the Groms taking it to it. There goes Luana just paddling past me now. She is psyched. Reynos is screaming. All of the caddies are screaming. Gabby's last wave that turn was insane. But I think what kept the score down was wave height. I think Luana's first wave were 8-8. It was a bigger wave, and she got that big end section. And we know the judges are eating those up today. But yeah, I love hearing the caddies, the caddy chat. I've had a few catch-ups out here. It's been been good times. Micro just gave me a bit of a foot massage because I got a cramp.
Laura, out there in the lineup, it must feel like, you know, you're out there, you can see the size of the waves. For us watching from the beach, it's a little bit of a different view because everything just looks, you know, squished into the little screen. But how much bigger was Luana's wave than Gabriella Bryant?
I would say it just didn't have that tapered off wall that Gabby's did. It had that big wall throughout the whole wave. But I think it'd be probably a foot or two bigger for sure, and just had that more energy throughout the whole wave.
All right, thank you, Laura. And we're getting caught up with the action, getting caught up with some of the scores. Luana Silva, 8.83 and a 5.5. 7-point ride and an 8.27 for Gabby Bryant in the priority heat with 10 minutes remaining. Gabriella Bryant in with the lead over Luana Silva. Great surfing by both of the rookies in this matchup.
It's been incredible. And I can still see Gabriella Bryant's bottom turn in my mind.
Yeah.
I could just still see that style and the way she loaded up and drove that rail. That was a thing of beauty. And when you reflect on Sunset Beach, and me as a kid getting Surfer magazine arrives, and we'll go to that after this replay, Strides. You take this one, mate.
Yeah, this one's Theresa Hennessey sporting the long john and feeling super comfortable as we saw a quick look at what it looks like to drop into a wave.
Yeah.
And that's where I was going to go. When I was a kid, the photos that you saw of Sunset Beach were of the bottom turn. And they were always these guys down in these elegant positions doing these beautiful bottom turns. And that's what you saw of Sunset Beach. So it was always about picking your line in, fading it down, and then using that bottom to create these beautiful turns. Here's the 2-for-1. Quick jab.
Comes up.
The lip glide there, but the yardage that she gains on this turn is impressive. Watch.
Just that low center of gravity, drops the knee, and then torques the body, pushing that back leg. Did you see how hard she was pushing? That was just so fun to see. She was loaded up and then just released it and pushed it all the way out, and that's what all that spray comes off that rail. And you saw that line. It was just a perfect slice, just a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, let's look at the number from the judges. 8.3, 8.5, 8.5, a couple of 8s, and an 8.27 average, throwing away the high and the low.
That was one of my favorite turns that I got to see all day.
I agree. 8 minutes and 20 seconds on the countdown. Let's check in with our first semifinalist, Malia Manuel.
Our first semi-finalist, Malia Manuel, you've had such a great day throughout, but to crack that round, to make it to the semis, that's got to feel just amazing. It's been a huge day.
Thank you. Yes, it's been a huge day, and it's you know, one of the biggest days in competitive surfing for the women, and happy to be a part of it. And a long competitive day for me, and in my whole career. It was a big day for the ladies, and yeah, I'm so happy. It's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to get at least a semi in Hawaii to start the year.
And one of the only veterans left in the mix, with all the rookies really making their mark today.
They are. They're, you know, surfing so solid, not like rookies. So it's been an exciting day, and it's really cool to have a mixed-up draw this time.
And, you know, we got swollen off for the next couple of days. How do you rest up looking into finals day?
Very relaxed, good meal, good home-cooked meal at home. You know, texting the crew, saying hi to everyone back home, the Grizzly crew. And, you know, regrouping, you know, and doing it all over again, having a good routine in the morning, waking up early, getting the body ready to do it all over again.
Keep that fire burning. We'll see you in the semis.
Thank you.
Yeah, Grizzly crew's proud. 7 minutes counting down, and I like the inside. I like the stoke coming from Malia Manuel, but she's going to have a challenge in semifinal number 1 because the girls in quarterfinal number 2 are going at it. Here we go, though. Molly Picklem. What's going on? A couple of big top turns, that's what.
Wow. Even though that wave kind of had a flat contour to the bottom, she found a way to hit the lip twice. And it was pretty impressive.
To be able to get them when you don't have the priority, it's not really, you know, you haven't got that carte blanche, okay, have whatever you want. She's doing a good job of picking scores that'll be a second score that'll see her in good stead for, you know, 14 minutes in.
Push her down.
Here we go. Theresa Hennessey looking down the line. This wave stretches out, looking for some open face. Going to get it right here. Big snap under the lip. And the wave just gives a little hiccup, but no problem. Theresa hangs on through that turn.
It's an interesting juxtaposition, these two heats, with Brisa and Picklem and Silva and Bryant, Silva and Bryant just seem to have so much more energy in their surfing at the moment, and maybe that's just because they're the priority heat.
So guys, we've been doing a lot of talk about the comparison in our priority heat between Gabby Bryant and Luana Silva, and both excellent scores. Let's do this side by side to compare the 8.83 and the 8.27 BL.
First turn, bigger and better for Luana. Then there's a middle turn, the second one. They're pretty similar, aren't they? I think first turn, Luana gets the advantage. The second turn of Gabriella's isn't matched because there's not a second turn. On the third turn, I feel like Gabriella's was maybe better, but again, the size of the wave did have an impact that has been mentioned a couple of times as well.
My take on it, you know, we haven't seen a big outside turn, which we saw from Luana Silva.
First turn.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the inside turn for Gabriella Bryant was powerful, it was crispy, it was almost perfect,
yeah.
But it was also on a less of a section.
Yeah, section's
didn't have a big lip
dying as
line.
it happens,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so Luana Silva, her wave had a big, critical section that she actually hit. So she did a big two hit on that, and I feel like the judges got that right.
The judges did get that right, but I think a lot of times the judges are looking at top turns, and the bottom turn should not be ignored. And the world champ is looking at me right now because that's a key to performance. We'll get back to that as we see a wave run away from Luana Silva. So she just kicks out the back. 4 minutes counting down in the priority heat. Luana Silva needing a 6.44.
That must feel good to know that you can get the score that you need after, you started out your run and you've got some big scores on the board.
Watch
so
this, BL.
you're ready.
Watch this attack of the lip from Molly Picklem.
Small wave surfing, has that little tweak of the board under the feet. Didn't bother her at all. Straight back up into the second one.
I mean, these are quick feet right here. Watch. Comes back around again. 7.33 for Molly Picklem on that wave.
Under priority, goes up, attacks the lip line, which is exactly what the judges are loving. Outside on that first turn, board free falls down, she regains composure and reacts to the lip line. She doesn't wait, she doesn't go draw out a turn. She just looked straight back up and went right back to work. And the reactive surfing is sunset surfing.
Laura, what do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, Luana is making a bit of a mistake there. She missed her wave. Everyone was calling her in, hooting, and she just didn't get into it. So missed that, lost priority. Then she's gone a small wave under priority that Gabby's let her go, and that one just didn't work out for her at all. Gabby has just started paddling straight in to just jump onto Luana. They're both trying to paddle out to the peak now, but yeah, Gabby is very, very close to her. Oh, hello.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you, Laura. All right, now to 2 minutes and 35 seconds counting down. And again, Luana Silva under priority of Gabby Bryant needs a 6.44. And you can see the cat and mouse on your screen that's happening between the two surfers in this final 2 minutes, Strider.
Yeah, this is where you have no friends.
Exactly.
There's no friends at the 2 minute mark, and you have priority. You have to do everything you can to control that heat. But the decision has to happen when waves come. And we're at a 14 second interval. That means every 14 seconds there could be another wave. That means, you don't have a lot of time to make decisions.
On the paddle here is going to be Molly Picklem. Gets away from under the pack. And again, great surfing, great rail control. Finishes off looking to better her low of a 5.67.
Saw some Shane Besh form on that last turn. The hands.
Picklem has been impressive and has the lead over Theresa Hennessey in the non-priority heat, BL, and she's excited. Look at the kick.
Yeah, I'd love to see that in the paddle. And a 5.67 is what she's looking to improve on. She did well to get that out of the crowd, really. And I suppose for Gabrielle, she's most probably glad that Luana didn't try and bait her into it. Because if I was Luana, I would have been trying to get that priority off Gabriella and made myself look very interested in that particular wave.
Here we go, down to a minute, and Gabriella Bryant with priority and the lead. Luana Silva again needs a 6.44. We're under a minute. I see some lines coming through. As Strider explained, 14-second interval. So about every 14 or 15 seconds, a wave is going to present itself. That means there's probably only two or three rideable waves coming to the peak at this point. We're going to see how this plays out.
It's so interesting, isn't it? And you can see the lines coming in out the back. The one outside looks like it's going to arrive and break in time. Will there be a move?
Over by the point.
Scratching to the point right now. But remember, Gabriella Bryant really has the upper hand because she can just throw a block right here. And that's exactly what she's intending on doing.
But there's going to be a wave behind it.
Here we go. Gabriella Bryant dropping in. Long wall in front of her. She's just going to straighten out.
Still 10 seconds.
Luana Silva needs to be on this next wave. Where is Luana? The wave, and she paddles over it.
Oh, she was in the wrong position anyway. Couldn't have done anything.
Yeah,
That's tough.
Well, semi-final number 1 is all set. It's going to be Malia Manuel versus the rookie Gabriella Bryant, coming up through with some big numbers. 15.27. 2-wave total. More quarterfinal action coming your way right after this.
The Hurley Pro Sunset Beach presented by Shiseido is brought to you by Hurley, the official apparel partner of the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach presented by Shiseido. By Oakley, official eyewear of the World Surf League. By Flying Embers, official hard kombucha of the World Surf League. And by 805 Beer, proud partner of Connor Coffin.
Beautiful Sunset Beach, the venue of the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, presented by Shiseido. Quarterfinal number 4 is underway, and it's 2 rookies facing off in the way of India Robinson versus Betty Lou Sakura Johnson. Kaipo Guerrero, Strider Wazalewski, and 88 world champ Barton Litch all in here to bring you the descriptions of what has been an exciting afternoon. Turning our attention to quarterfinal number 3, and Theresa Hennessey arcing off the top there. One long bottom turn and another arcing turn for Theresa Hennessey, needing a 7-point ride at the moment to take the lead off of her challenger, Molly Picklem. I
like it. Pretty smooth.
Is it a 7?
A little syrupy.
Maybe not a 7, but you know, what's 6-1-7's her highest score so far.
India Robinson powering through. A nice cut back and another arcing turn on that Paisel, just cutting through water very nicely here. And that's going to be India Robinson's opening ride in quarterfinal number 4.
She's got a very interesting, unique, leaned back carve. I've never seen it. I haven't seen it out of any surfer ever, which speaks to the uniqueness of surfing itself. She leans way back and gets this interesting turn and torque out of it. I saw it at Haleiwa, and I'm seeing it again here. I love it.
Everybody dances different, BL. Everyone dances different.
But there's, you know, they might all do the foxtrot. They might just do that differently, or they might, you know what I mean? But when you think about, you know, modern surfing, you think about the top turns and those type of turns you're talking about, and they're very similar. There's a similarity between most everyone's. But here there's and we'll see it in this next one particularly, right here. she really leans over and drives and rotates and puts so much energy into it.
Yeah, most surfers are a little more upright. She leans back into it and torques, though. Look at the shoulders are turned. The technique is there. A lot of surfers don't put their board over on the rail as much as she is.
I'm calling that Michelle Boresish in the way, with the body twist right there, and leading with the top of your body, and then the bottom, you know, and then your legs kind of follow it.
But even he is more upright, I feel like.
Yeah.
Here we go, the roll in. And it's going to be Molly Picklem. Some bounce off the bottom, but attacks the lip nonetheless.
Whoa.
Big turn from Molly. Comes around. Has to deal with some flat water there, but does a good job of just keeping the board on rail and completing the ride. Does she better her 5.83?
Yes, I feel like she did.
Well, look at the score for Theresa Hennessey.
8.6 drops for Theresa Hennessey. Now Molly Picklem needs a 7.45. So Theresa Hennessey dropping an excellent number and taking the lead off of Molly Picklem at the 15-minute mark.
The thing that I've noticed today about Theresa is she has got better and better and looks more and more comfortable, smoother and more aggressive all at the same time. And as the day's gone on, she's improved her performance. You can really see her benefiting from the repetitions of heats. And I think that's what kind of led to that 8.6, is that you've established a level with someone, and then when they start surfing better, you're like, whoa, whoa, and you start to rise with them as their performance rises through the day.
Here's the 8.6.
This first turn was money, though. I mean, look,
Yeah,
she comes up into the corner, and it was a beautiful power arc, you know, where she really finished off. You see her kick the tail through the end of it, and then follows it up with another beautiful turn. So the judges, to me, have been enjoying a two-turn combo.
Pretty consistent,
right?
Yeah.
And that, you know, and the equipment, Glenn Pang, those boards. Glenn's been shaping Sunset boards for decades. And so, you know, you look at something like that, I mean, hey, I know it's the archer, not the arrow, but a good arrow helps, BL.
Oh, yeah, you know, it is, but it isn't it? You know, you can get out there on a bad board, and if you pick good waves and manage it, you can still win. But if you've got good equipment, it makes all the difference. And small waves, it really shines. Sunset Beach, it definitely shows.
I don't believe that Molly Picklem's score has dropped yet.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that.
And that was an impressive attack on the lip line.
Yeah.
As opposed to Brisa's big open face carve. This is the lip. That was the carve from Brisa, right?
Yeah. And again, a beautiful bottom turn that set it up.
So two solid turns on that wave.
8.6 for that ride.
And then Molly Picklem's wave, you know, she had that off the bottom immediately into the lip line. We're still waiting for that score. I would not want to be a judge at Sunset Beach with overlapping heats.
A lot of work to do.
That's a lot of, look at that thing. Woohoo, that's a bomb out the back.
Paint a picture of Sunset Beach, and that's what it would look like if you could just paint a picture. A couple of roll-ins attempts there. You can see the wind rushing up the face, BL, and how difficult it is sometimes to paddle into these peaks.
Oh, and speaks to the size of the board that your recreational surfer would ride out here, you know. 8-foot board is a small board at Sunset on a 10-foot day. So, you know, it's definitely the sort of wave that you need. Mixing it, you know, being able to catch waves is one thing, but being able to catch them and then perform like these guys have to in competition, it takes a special kind of board.
Look at this pass paddling for the wave, guys. They're right on top of each other.
Well, that right there was a flip of priority, okay? Because Brisa had priority and she looked like she was paddling for it to me, and then they flipped it and gave it to Molly.
Hey, let's hear from Gabby Bryant. She's a semi-finalist, and that was an impressive performance.
Huge performance, huge day, Gabriella. Starting out when you woke up this morning, from that heat 1 to now, I mean, what's the feeling of what you've been through today?
Yeah, this morning doesn't even feel like the same day, honestly. I mean, I woke up with the intentions to win every heat and do my best, which I've done my best, but this morning I kind of had a shaky start and got sent to the elimination round. But after I got sent there, I kind of just looked at it as another heat out there. I get some more time and practice out there. So, yeah, I'm so happy right now.
And coming up against Lulana Silva, you guys have probably had so many heats together, but cool to share the lineup with her.
Yeah, of course. Lulu is such a good friend of mine. She's probably one of my best friends on tour. And it always sucks to come up against your friend, but we had good waves, which was cool because we both got to do good surfing. But yeah, it was kind of tough to come up against her.
Well, 2 Kauaians in the semifinal, yourself and Malia Manuel. That's a good matchup. What do you make of it?
Oh yeah, it's a super good matchup. I've looked up to Malia my whole life coming from Kauai. She's one of my inspirations, so it should be really fun to be out there and have a heat with her.
Rest up for the semifinals. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, the semifinals is what we're going to whittle it down to today. We're going to complete these quarterfinalists, and we're going to have our final 4 surfers for the women for this year's Hurley Pro at Sunset. Long day, but I feel, Strider, that the cream has risen to the top today.
Well, it's funny, you know, that comment, but also the rookies have risen to the occasion.
Yeah.
And that's the part that really is impressive for me to watch. And I just love seeing new surfing. I love to see, I'm a fan of surfing.
Yeah.
When I get to see new faces and new styles of surfing, and you get that kind of, you know, flush of like, oh, wow, you know, it just brings a whole new painting, you know, into the room. Where you've had these paintings up on the wall, take them down, you put these new ones up, and the room is completely brand new.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening right now.
Great analogy.
I love that.
Yeah, super cool.
All right, 9 minutes and 25 seconds on the countdown for the priority heat. Theresa Hennessey out in the lead, 8-6 and a 6-1. Molly Picklem's been performing well. She's got a 7.33, but she needs to get rid of that 5.83 and replace it with a 7.45. And take a look here at our Red Bull Athlete Zone, the gathering of the Rip Curl crew.
What a scene down here on the beach. I mean, we're in a home on the beach that's turned into an athlete area, and the viewing point and perspective from there is second to none.
Nice fly over here as you see the broad playing field that is Sunset Beach, and a little bit more separation amongst our surfers. Molly Picklem in the red jersey on the very inside of everyone. She's trying to surf underneath the priority of Theresa Hennessey at the moment. Wants to sneak one from under that priority and perform to a 7.45 or better. Here we go. Some opportunity coming here, and just an up and a down. That was Betty Lou Sakura Johnson.
Under priority. Just looking for something, poking around.
Yeah.
Never know.
Literally in 4th priority, really, right?
Yeah.
With where she was, so worth a try.
I'm sure her coach, Ross Williams, told her exactly that. Hey, and played all the scenarios with Betty Lou, saying, okay, you're last in priority, just catch something. Just keep on catching waves, okay? Play the first half of your heat that way. Second half of your heat, when you're in the priority heat, now you get, you know, once you have priority, make the wise decision.
And with this swell, the size that it is, sitting on the wide peak where they are, the smaller ones go fat.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have enough water, enough substance to stand and draw on the reef and give you enough. Perhaps there's an opportunity there to sort of, if you're in that 4th priority, to get over a little to our right here on the screen and get to the point and find some of those steeper, suckier in-between ones that might have a good score in them while you're at the bottom of that priority roster.
Yeah, that would be a good strategy. And, you know, those more northerly swells that hit the point there, a lot of times, Strider, they have a nice long wall to them. You're going to have to get up on and giddy go, you know what I mean? But they have a long wall to them for some opportunity for some turns.
Yeah, my favorite swell direction out here is a big north-northwest. Because you still have that big lump in the corner coming at you, but you know, you can get way back deep and come flying across those walls. Here we go.
Looking for a whitewater roll-in. This is Theresa Hennessey, and not able to get, you know what? That's a classic Sunset, not air, but it's a scenario. Sometimes you just can't get to, you're getting bucked so hard you can't get to your feet. Molly Picklem right behind her makes the drop, long wall in front of her. She's going to have to bail out to too deep on that one.
Well, if she can get back out and get the priority and take advantage of Breesa's mistake by catching that wave and depending on where Breesa is, Looks like the skis will get her, so Molly should, you know, maintain that priority and take advantage of the mistake that Brisa made. That was a big mistake, really. At, you know, 6 minutes to go, and you've got the priority and you've got the lead, and to turn that into that, she wouldn't be too happy with that.
Make no mistake, she got worked right there. Yeah, she wasn't like, it's not like that was, oh yeah, I just bailed my board, I'm going to come up. All that water came down and just took her underneath and rattled her around. The waves out there are so deceiving on screen.
Yeah.
But when you're in the water and you're on a wave that big and all that water comes down on top of you like that, it's got to hurt.
Making this drop was impressive right behind Brisa for Molly Picklem. But to BL's point, strategically, priority in this final 5 minutes and needing that score, she's put herself into a good situation to turn this heat.
She needs to just make sure that this priority gives her that 7.45. So it's not something small she's looking for. She's looking for a near excellent ride, and to get the 7.45, you need to make sure it's an excellent ride. Give yourself some room for error there. But definitely enough time.
Yeah, centering herself right now. Nearly at 7.45. She's going to have to turn up the volume just a bit. She's already got a 7.33 in her score line. So a lot of this is going to come down to the spirit of Paumalu. And we see some lines outside. The increasing swell is filling in right now. And Laura's got something for us.
Yes, guys. Brisa just paddled past me, laughing. Her hair was all over the place, saying that was the worst licking of her life. And just having a laugh about it, but also just being like, wow, I cannot believe that just happened. She also didn't know what place she was in, and she didn't know what score she was in at all. So Micro telling her her scores, telling her what her backup was and her 8.6. She just kicked on out there, and she's keen to get back out and go play defense to Molly now.
All right, so Molly actually with the priority, 4 minutes on that pulled back shot from above. I could see some lines coming through.
Definitely looked like some action on the horizon, and I commented on that wipeout. Yeah, I would love to see it if we could, because it was pretty. I mean, there was a full bowl of that wave that just ledged out. Here we go, sets approaching.
Oh no!
Kaipo.
Oh no! I think I saw Molly paddle for that wave, and she did. She paddled for that wave. She did not catch that wave. No. She lost priority. She's probably going to take this one on the head. She's going to eat up some time and handing it back over to Theresa Hennessey. Advantage to Brisa.
Well, that's a rookie type mistake, isn't it? At this point in the heat, really needed to be confident and comfortable with that priority. Wait for the right wave. How does this one look on the wall? It didn't look. Wow.
And you know, at sunset, even in a free surf, you don't want to paddle for the first wave of the set and turn around.
and especially no one was forcing her to paddle for it. Yeah. There was no pressure from any of the others, and particularly her direct competitor going, you're going, do you want it, you know? But it was a decision she made, and it may be a costly one longer term.
And interesting, we saw that set, obviously, from the bird's eye view here from the drone, coming from way far away.
Yeah.
But when you're in the lineup, you can see those sets coming.
Sure.
You see them out there. It's not like they're a surprise. So it was interesting to see her actually make a move for that first wave.
Oh, well, now Molly Picklem's going to be the salesman, trying to get a wave sold to Theresa Hennessey, preferably a closeout, so that she can regain priority and give herself a chance. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the countdown here.
You can see both of them making their way. Molly's leading that paddle towards the point. Brisa's going with her. Her goal is not to let too much space come between the two of them. She needs to be close enough to be able to control what Molly does or doesn't do, and use that priority in a defensive way. And if a good wave comes, get it, build on your score, and keep attacking.
Time is ticking down, Kaipo. Mother Nature will let us know whether or not there's going to be another exchange. When it hits the 1 minute mark, there could be a chance.
Yeah, 90 seconds on the countdown here. Some lines, again, presenting themselves and positioning for all of our surfers. We'll see when these peaks hit the reef if they're in the right place, BL.
Yeah, and in the non-priority heat, it would seem that India Robinson with the 4.83 has sort of created a small advantage over Betty Lou in that 20 minutes, but not a lot of opportunities or not a lot of waves ridden by those ladies.
Here we go, priority heat, 1 minute remaining, and an important wave coming through here, an important decision for our surfers. And here we go. Molly Picklem has to give it up to Theresa Hennessey. Theresa Hennessey, now after she's played some defense, keeping Molly off that wave, now it's time for some offense. Let's see if she can close this out. And she does so. So that was the performance that she needed. A little bit of defense at the beginning, and then offense, just surfing that wave, hanging on, riding it all the way through to Val's Reef. More waves coming through.
Will Molly get a chance? That's the question right now. There's a whale out there at the back of the lineup as well.
You know, it's funny. Brisa's been training with Kahea Hart and Billy Kemper. And that first turn, I saw some of Billy's low center of gravity turn right there. And you know, they've been working on that foundation training and Kahea and all that. You just saw it in the surfing right there. It was pretty cool.
Okay. The hooter has sounded, and it is officially done. Some scores still owed to us, but I don't think they're going to change the situation. It looks like our semifinal number 2 is going to feature Theresa Hennessey. The conclusion of quarterfinal number 4 when we return to Sunset Beach, Hurley Pro Sunset Beach.
Big open water waves is kind of my style, and I've got the power to match the power of the wave. It's a really powerful wave.
India Robinson crushing a big section. Good timing on a bigger wave. We got the back half of quarterfinal number 4 to complete, and then we have the semis set for the best women surfers in the world. And I'm Joe Turpel alongside local ripper, big wave champ, longtime competitor, sunset champ Makuakai Rothman. We're getting to crunch time on a massive day for competition, and I feel like everything's changed. Everything that we knew before, all the veterans, all the world champs, really just paying tribute to one of the strongest rookie classes of all time.
Oh yeah, Joe, big shakeups today. I mean, all the giants pretty much falling to the rookies, and the rookie class really stepping up, taking over. And sooner or later, there will be the changing of the guard. It's imminent in any sport.
As we see an all-rookie clash still with 17 minutes to go, a local named Betty Lou, Sakura Johnson, and India Robinson from the Bells Beach region in Australia. Right now, India 4.83. And Betty Lou, 2.23 start. So a very competitive quarterfinal that still has a lot to show. And the winner of this heat will be with Theresa Hennessey in that second semifinal. Fun when you see this kind of camaraderie on the beach as well after a serious battle.
Yeah, I mean, these girls are teammates right here. Team Rip Curl, and you know, everybody in that clan has got to be proud of these two girls. They put on a show. Theresa Hennessey, you know, she got the nod on that one, and I'm sure they'll be doing battle again soon.
And also sharing the same coach of Glen Micro Hall. It's always funny when you ask coaches like Micro, okay, well, what do you tell each of them now? You know, and who are you going to caddy for? It's like they've done all the work in the lead up, and I think it's probably a joy for a coach to see, like, let's see how they play this one out. They definitely were very aggressive with each other. That's what they do in sparring battles, but it's a different thing when it's the real thing with all the cameras rolling and all the big championship tour points on the line.
Well, that's the story of the event. You got Gabriella, Bryant, and Lulana Silva in one heat. You know, trained together, everything with Kahea Hart. And then you got the team Rip Curl girls with Glen Micro Hall. I mean, I've seen it before in the men's. He'll take out one board for each, I would say. Get out there and really just, you know, give his girls the best chance of, you know, knowledge and everything in the water.
I love it. And the winner of that last battle went to Theresa Hennessey. She's with Rosie Hodge.
Yeah, so exciting to see these semifinals eventuate. Theresa coming up against Molly. We were contemplating what that was going to be like. You guys share a coach, staying in the same room. What was it like in the water when you're actually doing battle?
Yeah, it was pretty classic. I feel like the vibes were definitely really high prior, and we were both laughing and literally in the same camp, sitting next to each other, putting on our jerseys, so it's pretty classic. But I think she's just such a savvy competitor, and yeah, it's been amazing to see her grow. And I mean, I'm growing too, and I feel like we're both, growing with each other, and it was really cool to actually have a heat with her, even though I wish I could have met her in the final or semifinal, but yeah, super well done to her.
And Laura was out in the lineup, and she just said that you took a couple beatings out there. Yeah, how was that for you? I mean, it's been such a long day to also cop that on top of that it's pretty tough.
I was like a full like human boogie board. I feel like I was slapping down the water in the face, but I was smiling through it all, I think. But yeah, I think it's those experiences of like getting worked and like getting challenged like that. It makes the win or a good score that much sweeter.
What's on the menu tonight?
Oh man, I'm starving. I feel like I've just had a beet juice and like, but yeah, maybe, I don't know, whip up something, some sushi. I'm feeling it all.
Make another YouTube video, please. I'm looking for some new recipes. Always look forward to those. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Rosie. Teresa's so all-time. She's so awesome to catch up with. She surfs so incredibly well, made so many drastic improvements each and every year. And it's crazy. I forgot almost that she fell off tour after Mexico, and she really showed how that Challenger Series is into effect. She didn't even miss a season on the championship tour, and that's what that Challenger Series is put in place for. Fell off, right to the Challenger Series, back for the start of the season since she had that big win in the southwest of France.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows her grit, her determination, her will to succeed. And talking about that sushi, man, they've been using my ice and sauna at my house. One evening they came over. Of course, it was the evening I wasn't there. She brought a huge platter of sushi, and Kahea ate it all. I was like, what?
Those are the days you definitely want to be around for, but definitely more of that coming your way for sure. With 13:10 on the clock as we focus on the yellow jersey. Remember Moana Jones-Wong, winner of Pipe, went down to the elimination round. That's when we started realizing there was new scenarios. Lakey Peterson had to get to the semifinals, but she went down in the quarters. So now we're looking at Theresa, Malia Manuel with a chance to potentially be in yellow. We'll be following their run as they're both in the semifinals to compete on finals day.
I was wondering about that, Joe. I was looking at the draw, and I'm like, man, is this going to shake up? Or is it, you know, where's the yellow jersey going to be at the end of this? I mean, it's such a toss-up, and it's so good to see, you know, other people succeed as well. And the changing of the guard is amazing. It just shows the sport progressing.
And you know what it's like to win a world title. Some surfers say the yellow jersey adds pressure. Others, it gives them confidence. It's as a reminder of that they're dominating the sport. Where would you sit in that conversation? Where would you rather be?
I won my world title as a wild card.
That's right. And you know what? And that's what helped that rule change for wild cards to get more call-ups because of that big wave performance. The whole idea was, right, if a wild card beats everyone, they've got to go again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, like I got to start at the next event. I was winning that event with a minute left, and Nick Lamb, you know, got a score. So I got first, second, and then coming into the next year, it was crazy, like you said, that having that jersey on, there's no yellow jersey for the big wave competition. But just knowing as the big wave champ coming in the next season with the utmost confidence, I won the first event of the year and I got the world title at the same event. So it was, I was awarded my trophy at the same event, following year. So it's just an amazing experience all the way around.
How special. And so you obviously thriving off that position of being the best big wave surfer in the world. And you see how that yellow jersey can affect certain players, where some people surf like they don't want to lose it. Some people surf like, yep, it's a reminder, I'm the best surfer in the world right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cape for me. You know, like I started off in first one year, started off in first the next year, and, you know, fortunately ended up second that year. But, you know, everything, like I said, Joe, at the end of the day comes down to confidence. Whether it's your board, your coach, your mindset, whatever it is that you can find that gives you ultimate confidence, dive into that. Dig in as much as you can. Take as much of that confidence, take it for a ride, and capitalize.
That's what it's all about. 805 Post Show is going to feature a lot of rookies. Spoiler alert. That's going to be a huge story coming up in about 10 minutes. The 805 Post Show will show the top 5 waves of the day. A massive day of competition for the women. We opened up with the opening round this morning, and thankful for the overlapping format. We'll have the semifinals set and ready for finals day. Malia Manuel is into a semifinal here at Sunset Beach. She has been incredibly informed, and she'll have a rookie from the same island of Kauai, Gabriella Bryant, with a chance to win potentially their first CT event here at Sunset.
Those girls are on fire, Joe, right now. And, you know, today I was surprised the tsunami warning didn't go off, because those rookies came in like a tsunami and cleaned everybody out today, straight up.
That was straight fireworks. So much water moving. Definitely feels like something has changed on the top 17. First of all, we usually don't get this many rookies on the top 17. A lot of times it's one. Tatiana Weston-Webb, lone rookie on tour. Bronte McCauley was the only rookie. You know, a lot of times it's maybe one or two, as we see a fading cutback to kick things off after a bit of a wait in between waves, and fitting in a second effort. Betty Lou Sakura Johnson chasing down a 2.81. We're going to see the lead change.
Talking about a rookie, Joe. I mean, this girl was 16 years old?
16.
She is surfing all woman right now and just smashing. I mean, her performances have been, I mean, next level.
Really great to see her win that Challenger Series event at home at Haleiwa. She could basically walk to that venue, roll in on the takeoff, McCoy. She stopped that without a problem.
Yeah, so in control, right into a top turn. I mean, that's hard to do. Get off your belly on halfway down the wave, get back up there. And let's see this finishing move. I mean, right here, look. Pop straight to her feet, straight into a bottom turn. I mean, you can see the training, the quickness. I mean, just so in form right there, Joe. Like I said, to get off of your belly and go straight into a bottom turn, that's not easy.
Well-read wave and packaging 2 solid moves.
Yeah, I mean, that last wave just gouging in right there. I mean, she's rewarded 6.83.
Takes the lead off India Robinson. That's the new best number of the heat so far. Now 8:22 in this quarterfinal heat. Betty Lou looking to potentially take an early win in her career in the championship tour. Laura, we saw the lead change. Betty Lou paddled right by you. How's she feeling?
Yeah, Betty Lou is scratching back out there, and Ross is going absolutely bonkers. He's telling her to get back out there and try get a wave straight away, try get the first wave of the next exchange, and also to come a bit wider. That he said that they're going a bit too. Both the girls are getting sucked a bit too far at the point now, and they're missing these wider sets. So good caddy coach chat for her, and yeah, that was an amazing wave. We were all sitting here wondering if she made that last turn, and yeah, she just lined it up and slammed it.
Really cool. Thank you, Laura, for the insight from the caddies. I've never heard Ross Williams raise his voice. It's really cool. When he's in the thick of competition, he's going to bellow out that information for Betty Lou. He's got such an amazing stable. You know, obviously John Florence headlining that whole coach's corner, but a lot of people are calling him saying, hey, can I get in? Can I get in? And Betty Lou was a quick addition. You know, a few years back now, they've been working for a very long time together.
I mean, Betty Lou was an addition from, you know, childhood. I mean, good friends with Ross's daughters. I mean, it was just natural. She grew up under Ross. It wasn't like a thing where they had to call him up and say, will you coach me? He just seen from a young age that she had something different. And, you know, first things first, Ross is a competitor. So when he does raise his voice and he gets excited, you know something's going on. You know, it's Ross Williams, one of the best to do it. I mean, one of the best with a rail game in the world. So for him to show these, you know, not just talk, but show from experience, that's a deadly coach right there.
Ross has finaled at every location where we see competition on the North Shore from Haleiwa to Pipeline to Sunset, longtime invite and great performer at the Eddie Aikau event as well. So he's got the whole package and he's really enjoying the analytics, obviously as a commentator, naturally turning into one of the super coaches on tour. That 6'8" puts Betty Lou in a fine position, and she wants to represent Hawaii in this one. Lulu, the local here at Sunset, she went down a couple of heats ago to Gabriella Bryant. So Johnson trying to get there, Makua.
Yeah, she's doing so well representing Hawaii, period, you know, regardless of how she performs right now. I mean, she is in the lead. I mean, and she has a long ways to go. There's still 5 minutes left. I mean, she's in second priority. It's going to be a toss-up to see what India does on this next wave, Joe.
I was just thinking the last time we had a handful of rookies, I think 4 rookies, 2014. That was Joanne DeFay, Nikki Van Dyke, Alessa Quizon, and Dimity Stoyle. As we see a big fading takeoff for Betty Lou.
Yeah, nice wrap right there. And I really think Ross wanted her to put the pressure on to maybe get into India's head a little bit, get another wave, maybe a bigger score. But here's India right back up and riding.
She loves big open ocean waves, but nothing on offer on that one.
Yeah, well, she knows she had to get right out the back. If there's nothing on offer, get out of there, get your priority back. So you have first pick of the next set that comes in. You don't want to be sitting second place and second priority.
And it's a little gambled, isn't it? If you have a little bit of room outside, you can check it, but you got to kick out quickly, and you're hoping you're not missing a better opportunity behind it. So India playing that game well. She regains first priority, and now chasing a 4.34 for a spot in the semifinals. Remember, Robinson had to withdraw from Pipeline as she talked to her support crew and had to sit on the sidelines while Tyler continued to surf. So she was happy to be 100% for Sunset. She's turning in a huge result still in the making.
Yeah, I mean, she's got 4.5 minutes left. She needs a 4.34. I mean, that's a average, you know, marginal score for her. She's been dropping bombs on, you know, all day, and it just takes one open face wave, you know, 2 big hacks, and she's up in excellent range.
So true. It probably feels a lot different now for them, Makua, being just the last 2 surfers in the lineup as we wrap up the day. You can kind of feed off each other in the overlapping format, and it's just 2 rookies realizing their dream. Robinson knows that she's gotten some big numbers on single maneuver sections that are much higher than the 4.34. And we talked about that 6.6 board from John Peisel that she said feels like magic. She actually had it on ice, didn't even touch it until she was getting closer to the sunset waiting period, and she had an instant connection with it on her first wave.
You have to do that to some of those boards, you know. I mean, I remember from at Andy and Bruce days, they had a few boards. It was like you don't touch them until competition days. You already know, you don't have to guess. They're going to work.
And it's funny, as a surfer that just surfs every day, you're always going to be on your favorite board. That's just normal. But when you're doing it as a job to win titles, you know how important it is to have that edge, saving something magic for game day.
Oh, Betty Sakura Johnson up and riding here, Joe.
Might as well rip this thing. Big section, though, is going to delay that opening turn. She'll hang in there, and it looks like she might just be kicking straight out. 3:10 to go.
Yeah, I mean, 3:10 to go. She doesn't want to play that game too much. She really wants to improve on that 2.33. You know, she can under priority because India is going to be waiting for a really nice wave to perform on. She needs the score. Sakura can kind of hunt underneath, 1 or 2 quick turns under the lip here or there, you know, boost her score and make the asking of India Robinson a lot higher, catching a little wave inside.
And that is so painful for the surfer with priority when the surfer without priority is increasing their lead under your watch. I don't think anything hurts more than that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the ocean going flat, knowing you need a small score and not even getting a chance is the worst. But, I mean, there's nothing worse than knowing with a little bit of time that your ask increases a little more. It does get into your head.
You're wondering what they're up to underneath your position. You start questioning why you've been sitting so long, where you feel like you need to sit in one spot with priority. 2 minutes to go. See if we have an opportunity for India Robinson.
Something coming here. I mean, there's some bumps in the water. I'm not sure where she's at, but it looks like that number 2 wave is kind of coming right over there to her. So she could have a little gift here. We see her spinning. I wonder what's going to happen, Joe.
One big section is really all she needs for a 4.34. She definitely wants a combo, but if it comes to one big turn, she might be able to produce a lead change. That one's going to take her by surprise. And that peak at Sunset just took her the wrong direction.
That was a little trippy. I mean, I seen Betty just getting in there and just bulldogging, going for that wave as well, pulling back right at the nice, perfect moment. But India just kind of getting caught up in the lip. She didn't paddle hard enough.
Tough one to pull. There's a lot of breeze into the face of India Robinson, but it definitely delayed her entry into the face and just took her the wrong way. Priority switches to Betty Lou. And Ross breathes a sigh of relief. He's probably thinking Betty will just close this one out with some serious defense.
Yeah, he's looking a little sunburnt right there in the channel. Ross Williams, maybe a little crispy Ross. I mean, he's going to get some eye drops in there, but nonetheless, his girl is doing well. You know, she's making the semifinals. She's a rookie on tour. She could take this whole entire tour over right here.
Well, these two did have a meeting at the Haleiwa Challenger. Betty Lou obviously went on to win that semifinal and the event. India finished in 4th at the last event of the Challenger Series. But now we're starting to see a young rivalry form right there, paddling right next to each other, 25 seconds. It's up to Betty if she wants this wave, but India is playing a smart game, just getting right in her face here. And she's got to be careful. You get tangled up when you don't have priority. You can definitely get in the way and maybe get an interference.
It looks like it's over anyway, so I mean, Betty Lou's just got to make sure she doesn't catch a wave, and there you go, Joe. It's one more Hawaiian on to the semifinals.
Running out of time, India Robinson doing a great job here at Sunset, finishing with a quarterfinal result, and Betty Lou Sakura Johnson from Haleiwa will move on into the semifinals to compete against Theresa Hennessey. Coming up next, it's the 8:05 post show to talk about some of the craziest upsets that we saw here at Sunset today. We'll be right back.
motivation. Even wiser you fall, I'm on a mission, bringing my dreams to fruition. I ain't playing at all. Bring out the body bags, I'm about to kill them, deliver them to the mortician. I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my face, back in my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. I pray to God, he never came. I'ma do me, I'ma do me. That's in my blood, I'll never change. That's in my blood, I'll never change. That's in my blood, I'll never change.
Welcome to the 805 Post Show here on the North Shore of Oahu, and what a day it was for pro surfing. The women's competition had quite a shakeup today, and the waves were incredibly rippable, had some solid size in the morning, maybe trimmed down just a touch, but was still an all-star day. To return to Sunset Beach, it's been over a decade since we saw Rosie suit up here and compete at the top 17 level. Joe Trappell, Rosie Hodge, Makua Kai Rothman here for the 805 Post Show. Where do we begin, Rosie, with a day that, I mean, I'm scratching my head. When was the last time we saw the tour shook up like it was today?
Oh, this was huge. I mean, to see all 5 rookies on the tour into the quarterfinals, it was a massive shakeup. All 3 world champs out of the event in the early rounds. Yeah, I'm very surprised.
And what about the level of surfing that you saw today, Makua? I mean, it's been over a decade since we saw the women out there. They're back, and what was your reaction to their performance?
It was amazing. I mean, I seen some of the girls just absolutely ripping. You know, they were hitting the lip. They were putting it up in the critical section of the wave. I mean, they were commanding respect out there today, Joe.
I think I'm about to put you both on the spot as we check out the finals day bracket for the semifinals. I want to know where the winner is going to come from, which side of the draw, because we've got some fresh faces that are in this position for the very first time. Malia Manuel, the vet, will take on Gabriella Bryant. Bottom half, Theresa Hennessey, just second year on tour. Getting started has Betty Lou Sakura Johnson. Makua, going to you first.
I can tell you where the winner's going to come from. They're going to come from Hawaii.
Doesn't matter what side of the draw. Well, look at what we have here. We've got a bunch of Hawaiians in that final side. So great answer. Rosie, are you going to get specific here with the top or bottom?
I love the rookies, but I feel like I just want to see Malia get that championship to a victory that she's been, you know, scratching so hard for, and she's been in such beautiful form, catching up with her on the glass. She has this look about her at the moment, Joey.
Excited. Let's talk to one of the rookies that will be on finals day. Betty Lou is with the Wogs.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, Betty Lou, you must be tired. It's been a long day of surfing physically, but how are you doing mentally?
Oh, my brain is exhausted, but nonetheless, I'm just super stoked to make it to the next round.
Well, a huge next round, obviously, into the semifinals. Tell me about your relationship with Ross and what was going on in the water, because he told me that was the most vocal he has been with you in any event.
Yes, I had to sit on my opponent at the last couple minutes because at Pipeline, I didn't do that, and that cost me the heat. So he's making sure I'm not making that mistake again, and I'm trying to not let that happen as well.
Well, that's nice that you can kind of rely on him for that mental support out there. But going forward, you're very young, but you surf with such poise, such power, and such technical ability. Is it just the breeding ground over here in Hawaii? Is there something in the water?
Ooh, it might be. I think just because we surf these big waves, they're powerful, they're strong. It's like nowhere else, really, and we have to adapt to it, and our surfing has to match it to be able to surf these waves. And yeah, just keep practicing.
Stephanie Gilmore noted that at the beginning of her career, having the waves in her backyard helped her, you know, catapult her into having good years. Do you believe that for yourself here, coming from Hawaii, starting the year?
Yes, I do think that starting from home is always a strong start, because you know the waves, you just know the waves and you know the water and you know what to do, and kind of just plays in your hands, so you just gotta surf smart. But yeah, I think starting at home is always gonna be strong for every surfer.
Well, congratulations. I hope to see you back here on the glass getting into the final.
Thank you, Strider.
How cool is that? Betty Lou Sakura Johnson getting the win in an all-rookie matchup. India Robinson took down Sally Fitzgibbons, so Betty Lou definitely knew she had her hands full with this one, Rosie.
Yeah, India so impressive in that matchup with Sally, bringing in some of that similar form. She's also from one of those open ocean breaks with Bells Beach at her backyard.
So we saw Betty Lou kind of steady through the first half, but she didn't really quite get the lead and all that momentum till the back end of the heat, Makua.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the look on her eyes on the glass there, Joe. Before that interview, I seen a little sneak peek on the screen. She has the look of a machine right now. I mean, she looks so focused. The look in her eyes that I just seen on that glass right there is the look of a champion.
Great to see that all-rookie clash. I mean, how often do you get this many rookies in a final series? Betty Lou Sakuda Johnson getting the win because of that 6.83, and she'll get to be in a championship tour semifinal. And it's crazy, you know, with that topic Strider brought up, she's still trying to learn how to not make the same mistakes twice. She's still such a Grom in that nature. Her surfing's there, her ability's there. We always knew that. And she's only going to get stronger. And we saw Ross turn things around with John, where his consistency changed a lot, and he stopped making little mistakes and winning more heats.
Yeah, just pointing that out. I mean, for Ross to be in the water and really tell her, close out the heat. Because you look at the heat totals there, I mean, it was within grasp for India to get that score. So, yeah, you need that aggression at the end of the heat to not make that same mistake twice.
We had more rookie battles that were fun to watch. Gabriella Bryant had a local at Sunset Beach, Luana Silva. McCoy, this was a highly anticipated matchup. You see Lulu all the time here at Sunset Beach. She was hoping she was going to get this win. What happened here?
Gabriella just had the power and the flow. I mean, she had a one wave up in the excellent range. I mean, I think they both had one excellent score each. Gabriella just dug deep and got the higher backup score.
But how smooth is Luana? Definitely a great result in her second stop in her rookie debut. She has a nice punctuation mark on those combinations. Just couldn't catch up to Gabby Bryant today.
Well, both of these women having to surf through the elimination round. So they surfed 4 times today, and that energy level definitely takes a dip when you're expending so much. Gabby Bryant, I mean, that water took ages to fall. That spray of hers is just insane.
Crazy to look at the numbers from these rookies, maxing out the scale. Usually they don't give away these excellent numbers, and they're forcing the judges to throw excellent. Luana, hats off to her. She had the high single score, 883, and Brian packages a solid two-wave combo to get into a semifinal. And McCoy, remember her hot streak in the Challenger Series? She made so many finals. Her consistency is not just now, it started last season as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that heat right there, Joe, I think it was speed and flow versus power and consistency. And I think the power out here in Sunset is what gave Gabriella the lead in that one.
So we're still wondering what's going on with our world champs, you know, kind of putting through the paces with the rookies, just taking things over today. I mean, is there one standout upset that surprised you the most, Rosie? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's fantasy team took a hit when Carissa Moore went down.
That's what I was going to say, Joe. It was really surprising to me to see Carissa fall out in that round. I mean, she narrowly got out of her round 1 heat too. Moana Jones put up a strong fight. So, yeah, it's been such an interesting day. It's just so weird to see Carissa fall out of this round.
And it was against Molly Picklem, who got the call up late to the championship tour. She's young. She's excited about competing. But I don't think anyone saw Carissa losing today.
Yeah, I mean, that first wave came down to wave selection. I mean, Molly had the bigger wave right here. The bigger maneuvers on the bigger waves are going to get scored higher out here at Sunset. And I really think that's what it came down to.
And just in full attack mode was Molly Picklem. Kind of has that weightless, I've got nothing to lose. I'm surfing against a 5-time reigning world champion. And she definitely created some space on the scale.
That's exactly what she said in a post-heat interview when they asked her, you know, the success of the rookies, what is that due to? She said, we've got nothing to lose. We've just got to come up against these people and make our mark.
As we check out the leaderboard, a lot of shaded names. Those names are out of the event. Big shakeup in the top 5. Theresa Hennessey, Malia Manuel into the semifinals as they'll be thinking about that bright yellow jersey that they want to get a hold of heading into the European part of the tour. But this many shaded names in the top 5 picture and even top 10. McCoy, you don't see this every day.
This is a weird kind of shakeup. It doesn't really happen like this. I mean, Moana Jones Wong up there with 10,000 points. I mean, anything could happen. She could even have the yellow jersey at the end of the day. We don't know.
Pretty wild scenario. All that big shakeup in the title race and a kind of a fresh look at a semifinal as a lot of them are looking for their very first win of their career. We're going to take a quick break on the 8:05 post show. And when we come back, we will go to the top 5 moments of an incredible day at Sunset Beach. Aloha, everybody, and you are watching the 805 Post Show, breaking down a wild day of competition here at Sunset Beach. Aloha. Makua, do you mind defining that beautiful word for us?
A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in your day.
Use it as a greeting. Hello, goodbye, love. It's, I think, one of our favorite words in the entire world. There's nothing like it. And we felt that spirit of aloha today with all the locals cheering on everybody into the semifinals for the women, as we get to a really fun point where we start to guess, when are we running finals day? Today's Thursday here on Oahu. Looking at the Surfline forecast, any predictions for that, Rosie?
Do you know what? I'm going to ask the local who's sitting right next to me. Makua, you know this place better than anyone. What do you think?
Let's see. I'm not seeing the forecast here. I know that the trade winds will be here. That's usually what happens out here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There you go. Looks like Saturday. I mean, maybe some Friday, Saturday. We got one more day left, so I would say Saturday looks like a good day. Yeah,
as we see, it says fair winds for tomorrow. That's Friday. And Saturday, still plenty of size, so a lot of pulses coming for the next few days. Surfline always gives us extra notes on which days look ideal to run. That's why we ran all day today. Quarters are already set for the men as well, so potentially first thing in the morning, we could get that call, or they could wait for the weekend, Rosie.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, 3 back-to-back massive days for the athletes. I'm sure they wouldn't mind a little bit of a break. Some of them might want to stay hot and just run straight into it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll have to wake up and check it.
Well, it's time for the top 5 of a massive day of competition, and it's really going to be all about the rookie class. Sometimes rookies don't get this kind of treatment. You got to earn it. They certainly did today. Let's start number 5 on the list. Lulana Silva battled her way from the elimination round all the way to the quarterfinals today, Makua.
She's only getting started. This girl is going to be dangerous. I mean, as soon as she gets comfortable on this tour, figures out exactly what needs to be done and how to get it done, she's going to be a world title threat, I would say.
And it was kind of scary. Elimination round, she was in 3rd. And the horn went off. She still hadn't heard her last wave. She went 3rd to 1st. Sometimes there's one wave in a year that is a turning point. That's hers at the moment. Coming at number 4, it was really cool to see India Robinson take down a vet named Sally Fitzgibbons.
This was a big upset for me. I think Sally's been so comfortable out at Sunset, and just to see India Robinson coming from Victoria region, feeling so comfortable on these bigger waves. I'm loving the first look at the rookies and what they're able to do on tour.
Really impressed to see her really show up in a big way. 7s, 2 big 7s to her name, so really had some distance between Sally. Turned that number 4 spot on the top 5. Coming in number 3, Gabriella Bryant shines in Hawaii, Makua.
Oh, this girl just say booyah when she hits the lip. I mean, Jesus, she can rip into that lip. She's one of my favorite surfers ever. I mean, this girl's impressing me every single day, every single turn. Not just her surfing, her attitude. She's such a sweet person. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. She's a total package, Joe.
She has so much joy in her personality. Big pickup by Hurley to put that big H on the nose of her board. Job well done today. Moving on and actually taking out Stephanie Gilmore. Number 2, it's Betty Lou, and she eliminated Lakey Peterson.
Yeah, this was huge. I mean, just watching all of these rookies advance. Betty, she's got such a tight game, a good head on her shoulders, and the way that she's able to close out heats is so impressive. It's the most time that I've spent with the rookies today, just on the sand, interviewing them and just seeing their attitudes and how they approach heats. It's stone cold when it comes to the veteran competitors, and it's going to be such a crazy season watching these women compete throughout.
So fun for the rookies, dominating the top 5 and taking top honors. Molly Picklem upsets the 5-time world champion today, Makua.
These are the kind of snaps it's going to take out the world champion. She was going hard. I mean, 100% commitment right there with this girl. I mean, she impressed me all day today. You know, this turn right here back into the powerful section of the wave, and right here she matches power with power. I mean, just absolutely gouging, laying back. That's what it takes, Joe, to move on.
Really interesting when you look at a year. We're feeling it now. We're just getting started, but we'll be referencing that heat, that early loss from Carissa, really all season. Will that be a turning point in her gunning for her 6th world title? Only time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to watch this journey unfold. This is stop number 2 on the tour, and a lot of these people are thinking about requalification now. I mean, looking at Steph after her interview, after she lost out, that's in the back of her mind.
And it's so true. Well, now we're getting to potential finals. As we said, could be tomorrow, maybe the next day. We still have some days left. Do you mind putting it on the line, you guys? Eventual event winners. Going back to the men's side, is there one name popping out for you, Makua?
All the boys are ripping right now. I mean, I'm going to have to see who's in form, you know what I mean? See who shows up with that fire in their eyes. Right now, I've been watching the girls all day. Who I would want to see win, just because of tenacity and everything, Malia Manuel. She's kind of been under the radar, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody, the rookies, been standing out. Malia's been out there on fire. She's in the semifinals against a good rookie class, and, you know, all these girls ripping.
And you mentioned Malia as well, obviously qualified a long time ago. She's kind of carrying it for the vets heading into finals day. Finaled at Mexico. She's finaled at Honolulu Bay. I'm sure her first CT win would mean a whole lot if she did it in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's going to mean a lot to her. And she is carrying that heart and that passion for, you know, her home islands.
Well, what an incredible day. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Makua, and the rest of our production crew. Hope you enjoyed all today's action at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach presented by Shiseido. Will it be finals day tomorrow? Join us on worldsurfleague.com to find out. Aloha.
Attention surfers, please hold your position. Stand by for a start.
Did we jet ski assist today?
Perfect. I'm so happy it's not ginormous washing through.
Looks like will be a gigantic day for the women here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach presented by Shiseido.
They're looking good the wave, I think. Yeah, these are great.
Malia Manuel, huge drop on the outside.
Just a few feet away from me.
Going aggressive right at the lip.
Serious business out there.
Betty Shreddy Lou Sakura Johnson hits it vertically off the top, flying the ponytail and all.
Let's watch Brisa. Beautiful open carve there.
Sally Fitzgibbon streaking down the line. Beautiful carve there.
Wow, look at that.
Wow, big late drop on the outside. That's Courtney Conlon. And slices it right off the top.
Tyler Wright, she's got a layback hack. Faye looks impressive. Approach to finish. Malia Manuel setting up another clean hook.
Gabriella Bryant taking out 7-time world champ.
Welcome to the World Championship Tour.
Lydia Robinson crushing a big section. Good timing. Big turn there for Betty Lou. This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.